Is there a way I can undo that like that?
Of course.
Thanks, man. I like to move around a little bit when I talk. All right. How's everybody doing today? Woo! There it is. There it is. And some of you might, be looking at me. Why does this guy have his shoes off? Why is he not wearing any shoes? Well, I'm doing that just out of representation. In 1968, on October 17th, two medalists, Tommy Smith and John Carlos, gold and bronze medalists, were stripped of their titles because at the ceremonies, they both removed their shoes and held a fist in the air to signify the struggle of not only black people in Africa, but in this nation as well. And obviously, it's still going on today, am I right? Woo! So I'm going to go ahead and do this without shoes on. Before I get started, I just have a couple of things I wanted to say, get my thoughts in order. First, I want to say blessings, comrades, sisters, brothers, elders, and youth present in this portion of time today. Just please take a moment to acknowledge the energy of not only ourselves present right here in the flesh, but the energy of our past and future that is among us as well. We are in unity today to represent not only the raging inferno that fuels each and every conscious individual who has a shred of empathy for the injustice and unequal treatment of not only black people and Latino people, but people in general in this nation. So, we are in unity today to promote a new way of thinking, perhaps a mold, a foundation for a more sustainable future, a sense of community, a common unity between different cultures and ethnicities, because in the end we are all people, and that's what it boils down to. A future without all the preconceived notions fueling our own ignorance and destruction. A future where the assumption of my likes, my dislikes, my beliefs and capacity are not all pre-speculated because of my age, my dress, my capacity, my capability, or my skin color. A future where we won't have to ask ourselves, am I black enough? Am I Mexican enough? Am I Asian enough? Am I white enough? In my mind, we haven't come far enough because it shouldn't have to matter. A future where community won't fear the officers who are patrolling their neighborhoods. A future where officers won't have the power to commit senseless violence and then lie and make the victimized seem dangerous. Now, I personally am a survivor of police misconduct right here in Denver, Colorado. 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago, on January 15th, I was assaulted by District 6 officers over what they said was an illegal left turn, which later on proved to be false. And that transpired into me getting beaten not only with fists, but a radio, a flashlight. Officers put a service revolver to my head. They threatened my life. And then afterwards, they laughed about it and they called me a nigger. And they told me I didn't know how close I was to getting my head blown off. And then on top of that, they coerced the witness who saw the entire thing into writing a false statement. And then they falsely charged me with criminal intent to disarm a peace officer and sent me to jail. It took 45 stitches to close the lacerations in my face. I had a concussion, a broken nose, and now, no more than an hour later, I'm sitting in the city jail with blood coming through my mugshot. So, when we gather here today and we talk about these things, this is because we have to. We can't not talk about things that have happened throughout history, because when we stop talking about it and we don't acknowledge it, that's when the people in charge get to rewrite it. And we forget important things that have gone on throughout history. So we're going to continue to talk about these things. And what I want to do for you today, I have a little piece that I put together. And yeah, whenever you're ready. Can you restart that? My fault, my fault. Check, check. Okay, ready? Officer, I'm watching you. I'll take the badge off of you. Clobber you in court and now the press wants to talk to you. You got me so stressed and yet I'm so blessed. $500,000 in the bank to invest and gain interest. These past 4 years have been far too intense. I lost a whole lot of friends and bought a brand new residence. And even after my being police, it's still too extensive. You paid me, but still I bring this to your attention. I feel like if I don't, then who's to mention? The silence voice violated by violent girls and boys. Badged up, strapped up, straight ready with the backup. Black flashlights, radios, mace, and handcuffs. It's like police corruption's in high demand, son. Got a couple dollars, Mr. Ripper and a Manson. A few OJs, murders labeled okay. Toss away the body, stick the face as a cold case. In a city where insanity and anger fuels police behavior, it's obscene. You know what what I mean. Ain't you seen the papers? The streets packed with demonstrators. A hot topic on our broadcasting stations is police termination, handshaking at the Oval table, parlaying, sitting and listening to apologies from these politicians. Like, please pardon how sick and twisted our vision's District 6 militia is. Like I'm supposed to get with this? Unity, thoughts, actions, and active repercussions. These are the tools they don't want us to use. If we use these together, fella, we can never lose. Put your focus to the sky and stop singing your blues. Unity, thoughts, actions, and active repercussions. These are the tools they don't want us to use. If we use these together, fella, we can never lose. Put your focus to the sky and stop singing your blues. Like I'm supposed to get with this? I know what the business is. The future's looking dim if our civilian torches barely lit. Machine guns and ammunition clips are some scary shit, especially if every single one is prepared to spit. Police patrol the beats on the streets like terrorists. Makes a young brother wonder about a therapist, and then I think a legacy in case this brother perishes of construction from the bottom. That's kind of how they got him. Unity, thoughts, actions, and active repercussions. These are the tools they don't want us to use. If we use these together, fella, we can never lose. Put your focus to the sky and stop singing your blues. Unity, thoughts, actions, and active repercussions. These are the tools they don't want us to use. If we use these together, fella, we can never lose. Put your focus to the sky and stop singing your blues. How many cases like Marvin Booker go unresolved in our city-states? Complaint Booker. It's hard to say in the day and age of straight bullshit. You had a gun to my head, you should have used a bullet. If you didn't want me to spill it, but no excuse can excuse the truth. The way that you've abused the youth, the middle-aged, and the elderly civilians too. And then you grouped with your troops in attempts to cover up your moves. You dug your own grave, and then I dug too. And together we can shovel one deep enough for all of you, as long as we follow through with everything we do. Like Luther King, Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, and Angelo. Unity, thoughts, actions, and active repercussions. These are the tools they don't want us to use. If we use these together, fella, we can never lose. Put your focus to the sky and stop singing your blues. Unity, thoughts, actions, and active repercussions. These are the tools they don't want us to use. If we use these together, fella, we can never lose. Put your focus to the sky and stop singing your blues. Bloody pavement, vital signs fluctuating, but not allowing forward operation until pictures are taken. Wait, Lord, you must have me mistaken. My flesh cold, bleeding to death from the extent of my facial lacerations. Then I start shaking. Doctors hoping that this O2 mask will stabilize the patient. That's alright, I'm waiting. But the only thing I've got to look forward to is detainment. The aroma of my own blood, a two-man cell with the ceiling leaking from above. But I won't budge. Unreliable ING, violated civil liberties, media publicity, a piece of the symphony. Now throw a clenched fist up high if you're free. Thank you.